Okay, in this video I would like to show you how to set up and install IMPaCT. So for now I'm just creating a virtual machine using VirtualBox for an Ubuntu system. This video isn't really about showing you how to set up the virtual machine. I'm just showing you the steps because I want to show that I've started from scratch and that I haven't had anything pre-installed beforehand. So yeah, as we are setting up, I'll be cutting through this video a little bit as well because some of the parts will just take a little while as they are trying to load and run. So yeah, okay, here we go. So yeah, so I mean I'm setting mine to English. Most of these settings you can set to the default. I've put here a minimize server because it's just I didn't want to install quite as much. Here you need to just pause briefly and then you can move on, and then again all these defaults. I'm really not doing anything particularly special. I just set the name and everything to be the word user, including the passwords. It's also user, and then yeah, skipping through all of these, and then now it's installing. So yeah, so just waiting for it to say it's installed correctly at the top, and then we can move on to the next step because you then just reboot and your Ubuntu should be working. So I'm going to cut ahead now here. Okay, and there we go. So it's finished. So yeah, I just click cancel because I don't want the updates, and then yeah, now it's rebooting. After this, we should just be able to click enter. So yeah, just rebooting, removing the drive so it doesn't just go back through all that installation procedure again. And then yeah, so now it should be resetting the system, and then you can log in like normal. It's worth mentioning you have to get this Ubuntu drive online, but like I say, this isn't a video about setting up a virtual machine. You should be able to find that somewhere else. So yeah, so I logged in. Now I need to install Git. You have to do this with sudo. Click Y to say that you want to install it. This particular machine didn't come by default with unzip, or I think it did come with tar, but I just had to install that as well. And then after that I can clone the repository. So yeah, this you can either copy the command from the GitHub, or you can type it in and copy like I have done here. Once it's cloned, then we can explore the directory. So you want to go inside of IMPaCT. I'm clearing just so I can get some space. Then yeah, you can see all the files. The first thing I need to do is chmod +x install ubuntu.sh. So this is the shell script that I want to execute. +x meant that it becomes executable. After that I do sudo // and then the file name, and now it's going to install, and yeah, this will work. It does take a while though. I think it took about 10 minutes. So once again I'm going to cut ahead, and I'll show you when it's all nearly finished. Okay, yeah, so this is now all installed. It's all installed well. So I'll go to one of the examples in order to show you that it's all worked. So yeah, so we can get rid of all the screen. We'll navigate to the examples folder. I'll pick one of the examples. Let's pick the robot, 2D robot. Reach reach specification undisturbed. And yeah, cool. I tried showing you the makefile, but turns out that Vi and Vim aren't actually installed on this PC. So anyway, we can just move on. I'm now going to show you, yeah, so you just run the command make, or you can do make and then the name of the file, and that will start compiling. Because we've got -03 and I haven't set up this virtual machine with a huge amount of memory, this is quite slow, so I am going to cut ahead again. But basically, yeah, you just need to run make, and then once you've done that, you can do // and then the name of the executable, which will be the same name as the file name, just without the .cpp. This is nicely automatic for you. So yeah, see you in a mo. Cool, makefile has now compiled, so now we can run it. So /robot2d, you can see all the output telling you how much the state space size is. Yeah, it saved these files, it's now going through, it's doing the abstraction. So yeah, the target and the avoid regions tend to be very, very quick. The transition matrix will take a fair bit longer. So yeah, I'm just going to let this continue. It might be a few more minutes in the video, but this is all working. But just for peace of mind, I thought I'd let you see that it does complete as expected. Yeah, 91 seconds there. I mean, I cut ahead. I didn't think 90 seconds was particularly fun to stare at nothing happening. This next one, because we've got this bounds approach, you can learn about that in the configuration video. This one will be quite a bit quicker, because basically we know that if the upper bound is 0, there's no way the minimum, the lower bound can be more than 0, so there's no point doing the optimization. And so this can save us actually quite a nice amount of time. So yeah, there we go. What's that? 30 seconds. Much faster. And now we go into the synthesis. So this synthesis is using the LP-solve method. There is also a method based on sorting, which can be quite a bit quicker. And yeah, so I mean, both of those are available, so you can choose whichever one you like. But basically, we're optimizing. We're using the interval iteration algorithm, so we are tracking both an upper bound and a lower bound probability, and as they converge to each other, then we know that we found a convergent solution. So here max is the difference between the upper bound and the lower bound, and min is, because it's a vector, we're comparing, we're finding the worst place where it's still not converged and the best place where it definitely has converged. And so yeah, so as max trickles down to, I think it's 10 to the minus 5, which is yeah, a very high confidence in convergence. So that will also be a bit slower, but you can change that parameter if you wish. If you only need it to be 10 to the minus 3 or 10 to the minus 4, that's quite easy to change. The other thing that's maybe worth mentioning here as well while we're watching and waiting is the second bound will always be a lot quicker than the first bound. And part of this is because, at least for the controller synthesis, we're selecting the input for each parameter. So in the second round, we don't need to be checking all the different inputs. We know the input we wish, and so that can reduce our computations by, yeah, potentially quite a few factors depending on how many input parameters we have. You know, if we've got 2 different inputs with 5 different options, then that's 25 times faster when we've only got 1. So that's very nice. Yeah, while I'm also here, there are other ways of installing the tool. So there is a Docker file. I'll probably make a video about using the Docker file for installation. You can also install this all manually. That was what I had to do originally. You can install it on, I've managed to do it on a Mac OS Intel chip. I've done it on a Linux machine. I think in theory you can do it on Windows. I've not attempted it. I think it's probably quite a bit more challenging. Definitely worth looking at the adaptive CPP GitHub page if you do want to try and get it working on Windows. But yeah, I mean, like I'm showing you here, you can even use a virtual machine. Yeah, really easy to install. And as long as you give it a high CPU or a powerful CPU that you can push through to it, then it should give you still pretty decent performance. compared with running it straight away on your machine. So yeah, here we are nearly done. Only a few more decimal points to show that it's converged in the upper bound. And yeah, and I'm not fast forwarding this, that is how much faster it is when you then get onto the second bound. So yeah, you can see that was significantly faster. Just as a last thing then, I'll show you that those files have been saved and added for the controller. You can see all these .hdfi files that are now in the folder. There you go. See you in the next video.